You're tired in the center of your chest before you know why. It's a dull, heavy press. Like a hand that's been sitting there for hours and now refuses to leave. Your limbs feel slower than they used to, as if someone has greased the hinges of your body. You wake up with a list in your head, and by noon the list is a fog. You drink coffee and tell yourself you'll start later, and later has a way of becoming a weather system you wait out. The shame arrives like a second breath, small, hot, and immediate. You catch yourself scrolling, promising once again that tonight you'll stop, that tomorrow you'll be different. The same loop begins. You have the taste of failure in your mouth so often it's almost familiar. A flavor you can predict that heaviness is not laziness. It's a signal. It's a body that knows a pattern and follows it without asking. Feel that weight and don't fling it away. Let it tell you one honest thing: you are not broken by willpower alone. You are trapped in a machine you did not build, working on rails you did not choose. Guilt wants to tell you you failed because you are weak. That voice is loud because it has been rewarded. It has been fed by the same mechanical cycle that keeps you stuck. The truth, as Paramhansa Yogananda would lay it out, is cleaner and colder. Your mind has formed grooves, not moral failures, but psychological channels. Patterns worn into the record of your inner life by repetition. These are psychic grooves, shallow at first, then deep and smooth, like footpaths in a field. Each time you think the same thought, each time you react the same way, you're tracing the same line again. The groove doesn't care about who you are. It only wants to be walked. Imagine a field on a rainy day. When the soil is soft, a single footstep leaves a mark. Walk that way again and again, and the mark becomes a path. Walk 100 times, and the path is obvious to anyone. The rain will follow it. The water will carve it deeper. That's what repetition does inside you. You are not fighting a monster. You are walking a path your mind has made, and the path is easier than choosing something new. Yogananda calls these grooves psychic grooves or memory grooves, impressions in the subconscious that steer your thoughts and actions like the grooves of a record steer a needle. The grooves play the same song until something else plays a new one. This is not metaphoric trickery, it's practical mechanics. Your subconscious likes economy. Its job is to save energy. So when it finds a route that works, it prefers that route. It automates you. The result is comfort at the cost of possibility. You think you are making choices, but often you are taking the path of least resistance. That's why anger, avoidance, overeating, porn, doom scrolling, quitting, they all feel automatic. You aren't bad, you are well trained by the past. Now picture a vinyl record on a cheap player. The record's grooves are tiny, and when the needle drops, it follows them faithfully. Try to force the needle off the groove and you just make a scratch, noise, pain, and a deeper scar on the record. Brute force rarely fixes the record. Hitting yourself with shame, promising grand revolutions at midnight will sound like the needle being forced. More damage, louder noise, and the same groove waiting for the needle to find it again. Yogananda's wisdom doesn't tell you to yell at the record. It teaches you to make a new groove, one that the needle will find easier than the old one. He teaches that the human will can reprogram the subconscious if it learns to act with steady, gentle intention, not violent impulse. The choice is to design a path and then walk it slowly so the soil compresses under new feet and the rain learns the new way. Here's the everyday picture that will stay with you. Think of a small kitchen table you use every single morning. Over years, a faint ring shows on the wood where your mug sits. The wood remembers your habit. The stain is a memory of your hands. You could sand the table down, start fresh, but tomorrow you might set the mug in the exact same place because your hand remembers. Or you can change the action. Put the mug on the right, then the left, then on a coaster in the corner for a week. Your hand will learn the new place. It will be awkward at first. You will feel like a clumsy guest in your own kitchen. But after enough mornings, the mug will sit naturally in the new corner and the old ring will matter less. The mug doesn't judge, the table doesn't scold. The change happens because of repeated, tiny choices. That is how the psyche shifts. One small movement, repeated enough times to become a pattern. So fighting your groove with willpower like a football player fighting the ocean is wasted energy. Yogananda said something like this: force is for the body, Guidance is for the soul. You need a gentle, persistent recharting. To change the record, you must drop a different needle 1,000 times. The method is simple and it's precise. It is not glamorous. It is not cinematic. It is a daily architecture of attention. Begin with a single tiny movement, one that is so small it seems trivial. If you want to stop a habit of doom scrolling at night, decide for 1 week that at 10:15 p.m. your phone goes to the kitchen and you do not bring it back for the rest of the night. That's the tiny movement. If you want to build a morning practice, pick 2 minutes. 2 minutes of breath, eyes closed, sitting on the edge of your bed. That is nothing to your ego. That is everything to your subconscious. Yogananda taught that the soul responds to steady rhythm. The mind respects consistent ceremony. You are not trying to move mountains. You are placing bricks. Use the breath as a lever. Breath is the hinge between body and mind. When you slow the breath, the mind slows. When you bring conscious breath to a moment of craving, you create a space that interrupts the groove. The craving may knock on the door. Let it come. Watch it like a neighbor singing in the hallway. Name it. There is craving. When you name it without shame, the reaction loses half its power. This is the witness Yogananda speaks of. The part of you that can see the thought without being the thought. Practice being that witness. Not with judgments, but with curiosity. Combine the tiny movement and the witness with a simple affirmation. Not a long speech, just a short, true line you can say quietly in your mind. Something like, I choose once, or I am free to choose. Say it when the old groove calls. Repeat it after the breath. Do it without fanfare, like a locksmith working at the same key every day until it fits the lock smoothly. The words alone aren't magic. Their power comes from the rhythm you give them. Breath, note, tiny action. The subconscious loves rhythm. It learns in loops. Then reinforce the new pathway with a ritual of small rewards. Reward is how the mind files experiences as valuable. If you quit a habit and feel only self-denial, the new groove will be poor. Give yourself a small, real reward that doesn't contradict your aim. A quiet walk, 5 minutes of a book you love, a good cup of tea made slowly. The point isn't to bribe, it's to show your subconscious that the new path also brings pleasure. Habit rewiring needs pleasure as glue. Expect setbacks. They are not proof that you cannot change. They are proof that you are human. A backslide is not a broken record. It is a scratch that shows the record still exists. When you slip, avoid the moral cyclone of self-loathing. That cyclone strengthens the old groove by feeding it with emotion. Instead, get curious. Where did you stall? What trigger was present? Name the trigger plainly. In Yogananda's terms, note the psychic impression that guided you. Then plan a micro-response for the next time the trigger appears. A micro-response is so small you cannot say no. The accumulation of micro-responses builds a new track. Now learn to feed the subconscious with images, not arguments. Yogananda loved the power of visualization because the subconscious is a picture-hungry organ. Your intellect can argue endlessly, but pictures move the deep mind. When you want to be steady, see yourself sitting calm in a tiny moment. Feel the weight of your body in the chair, the ring of steam from a cup, the light on your hand. Picture 2 minutes of breath, every day for a week. Make that image vivid, like a quick film you run in your head before sleep. The subconscious does not separate imagined habit from lived habit. It learns both. Make the new path visible in your environment. Out of sight is out of mind, and we are still animals of edge and light. Place a sticky note that says 2 breaths where you usually pick up your phone. Move the phone charger to a different room. Put your running shoes by the door, not as command, but as invitation. These small nudges are architecture. They do not replace will, they help it remember. You must also learn the skill of holding tension. There will be a current that wants the old groove because it is easier. Holding tension is the quiet refusal to collapse into the automatic response. It is not explosive. It is a calm resistance. The mind says yes to the old way, and you say softly, "Not now." Think of a rubber band stretched gently between 2 fingers. The band is tension without strain. That tension, kept for minutes or for weeks, is the discipline of habit change. Do not flinch from silence. Silence is the only place the new groove can be impressed cleanly. When your life is always loud, the subconscious keeps running songs. Silence is where you drop a different needle. Yogananda taught that the soul speaks in silence and the mind hears it best when the world is quiet. Create small daily silences of 2 or 5 minutes. In those minutes, be with one image, the breath, a line of text, a felt intention. The more you place that image in silence, the deeper the groove becomes. Remember that change requires time, but not forever. A week of steady effort can alter the tilt of your days. A month of small movements can break the old record's rhythm. We live in a culture that wants overnight miracles. Yogananda, like any real teacher, offers a slower, truer deal: persistence. Step by step, he says, without drama. Each step is tiny, each step counts. Make allies of your senses. Yogananda used sound and music in practice because certain tones cut through mechanical thought. Choose a short phrase, a sound, a ringtone, or a small piece of music that means stop to you. When the old groove is pulling, play or hum that sound. It interrupts the loop and signals the brain to pause. The pause is the birth of choice. Practice self-talk that is brief and mechanical. The mind listens to repetition the way soil listens to rain. Not now. 2 breaths. I choose. Say it like a ritual. Don't expect it to feel noble. Expect it to feel awkward. Keep doing it. Over time, the words will earn weight. They will become the gateway through which your will enters the room. There is another truth that Yogananda points at softly. You are not only a machine of habits. You have an inner center, a soul that is not shaped by grooves, but that can reshape them. When you bring attention from that center, even a small beam, you do more than change actions, you change identity. Repeating a tiny act shifts how you see yourself. You stop being the person who always breaks promises and become the person who keeps small ones. Identity precedes habit as often as habit precedes identity. It's a dance. Choose the identity you want by choosing the tiny acts that would belong to that person. Don't wait for inspiration, it is a poor architect. Build scaffolding for your future self. That scaffolding is rules that are tiny and kind. Rules that say, at 10 p.m. the phone stays in the kitchen. Rules that say mornings start with 2 breaths. Rules that say when the urge comes, I name it and I breathe. The scaffolding is not cruel, it is exact. The subconscious respects clarity. And when you have built the new grooves, teach them to others by example. Not by preaching, but by the quiet power of a life that moves differently. The world is full of loud promises and soft follow-through. Be the opposite. The presence of someone who keeps the small things makes the whole room steadier. Yogananda wrote that one steady soul can shift many lives by simply living with calm purpose. You do not need to be a teacher to be an influence. Be the person who shows how tiny rites done again and again create a new landscape. Finally, understand the last trick the old grooves use. They will masquerade as you. They will sound like your voice, and they will plead with apparent logic. Learn to recognize the tone of the groove. It is always immediate, always urgent, always demanding quick satisfaction. The soul's voice is quieter, older, and patient. When both speak, wait. Choose the quieter voice. Give it the weight of a decision. With each small decision, the field realigns. There is a kind of peace that comes after steady, humble work. It is not the loud joy of victory. It is the cool light of a town after the rain. Your hands rest easier. The heavy press in your chest loosens. The mug finds its new place without drama. The needle finds the new groove, and the record plays a different song. You will still have hard nights, and the ache of old habits will visit like an old friend who doesn't quite understand you anymore. Be kind to that friend. Offer him tea, show him the new chair. Over time, he will sit there quietly. You cannot erase the past. You can, however, make new tracks that light the way forward. That is the real work Yogananda taught. Patient re-education of the heart and mind, done through breath, small acts, steady repetition, and the witness that watches without blame. Start small. Breathe, repeat. The soul is not in a hurry, but it is relentless in time. Reclaim your choices by rebuilding your pathways, brick by tiny brick. Then one morning you will wake and the weight will have eased. You will know the sound of your own hand placing the mug down in a new corner, and the feeling will be quiet and deep. Not a shout, but a final soft untying. Stay with that quiet, let it stretch. Let it become the habit you were always meant to have.